And I'm inspired to share today about letting love in and feeling our way into desired manifestations, and how it really does have to do with our ability to feel the contrast, right? Feel, essentially, you can think of it like the deeper you feel, and essentially own the shadow, own the darkness, own the uncomfortable, um, often painful emotions, then energetically at the same time you're also able to expand. So as above, so below. It's a constant kind of infinity symbol of our own navigating that contrast and choosing to move upward, you could say, choosing to move in an expansive and ultimately like loving and abundant, harmonious, and sort of fearless way. So as we transform our density, that's what I call it in the Fearless Life Guide. So as we own and transform the emotions that we carry as our own, acknowledging the fact that we're essentially recreating, patterns from our subconscious, so from our perceived past and or various different timelines depending on your perspective. So once we become aware of that, some people call it, once you become mindful, once you become more conscious, once you become aware of the fact that your thoughts are in essence creating your reality, and or the mixture of your thoughts and your vibrations, i.e. your feelings, are creating the reality that you're perceiving, right? So part of that shift is you sort of dissolve the linear timeline perspective and start to see more cyclical timelines. So you're moving around in circles, essentially, right? Patterns. And that makes sense. If you look at the cosmos, if you look at our galaxy and everything, and even just the fact that we're going around the sun and the moon's going around us. So there's cycles, there's patterns in a cyclical sense. So your perspective shifts and you start to recognize the emotional trigger points as those patterns. And we can even sync them up with planetary alignments because we are one with the universe. Everything around us we can kind of access as information for our own enlightenment or our own expansion. And the more we yoke that inner perspective and looking at our own emotional patterns and really owning what we're creating, we transform the density and we begin to uplift ourselves. And certainly what I'm experiencing is just this broader sense of intuition and like just this very, very intimate and ongoing connection with the heart center, but the central sort of channel, right? The central channel of energies, just very sort of turned on, very aware, energetically. And that is to me a lot to do with this idea of letting love in. So once we sort of turn on that divine spark, we connect inward, we recognize that's the primary creation. Oopsie daisy. And then we ultimately grow from there, and we start an upward cycle of love, expansion, abundance. And it's really important, I have to close because my battery's going to run out, but it's really important that we ignore the circumstances during the transition until we start to recognize manifestations opening up, and we can yoke the feelings even more and keep rising into feelings of love, ease, joy, serenity within self, integrating all of those aspects and energies that have risen up from within you, again, because of the circumstances you've created for your own evolution. And then harmonizing into the heart, harmonizing into love, so that, more and more you really see this new world opening up in front of you. So you gotta let the love in. You gotta let yourself be pure and loving again. You gotta let yourself be innocent and trusting and still very intuitive. That's part of like always staying connected, because you're navigating infinite energies, right? So you're wanting to navigate that from a centered space, to not get yourself into situations. At the same time, once you really start to trust, have faith, relax into your own connection, you can really start to let go and embrace all the beauty that comes into your life and continue to expect more and more abundance, more and more love, more and more, deep and meaningful connections, and just, again, this ushering of kind of more conscious and evolved society, certainly more loving and kind one and generous one as well. So I hope that was useful to you guys. Thank you so much as always for tuning in, for subscribing and sharing the videos and sharing the message and just doing the work, you know, really empowering yourself to be a fearless creator, to, you know, go after your dreams, to live your highest joy and your highest bliss, and be willing to express yourself. That's a big part of the Aquarian age and this, you know, the nodal shift and stuff, is that we really want to begin to express ourselves from a place of truth and heart and authenticity, and to inspire that in others, and then come together from that place of common understanding of this sense of, you know, navigating a new world. How do we best feel into that, you know, as we rise into new communities and new leadership as well. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you real soon. Bye.